What's poppin'? It's your boy Big Rich, Queens, New York City, July 2020, in the middle of a heat wave. It's 104 degrees, real feel, hot. Does that stop business from continuing? No, it doesn't, gentlemen. You know the rules. Wipe your feet on the rugs, throw some smoke in the atmosphere. I just lit up a little bit of Elmer's glue. Hold on. Delicious. Let's get right into business. Continuing with our families from north of the border, let's continue with the Luppino family. Let's get right into it. The Luppino crime family, also known as the Luppino-Violi crime family, is an Ndrangheta organized crime family based and founded in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, in the 1950s by Giacomo Luppino. The Luppinos have strong connections with the Buffalo crime family of Buffalo, New York. By 2018, the Violis had increased their role in the organization, particularly Domenico and Giuseppe Violi, the sons of Montreal boss Paolo Violi, who had married into the Luppino family through Giacomo's daughter. Domenico had reportedly been made the underboss of the Buffalo crime family, and one of his duties was to assume control over the operations of the Luppino-Violi crime family. By late 2018, however, both brothers were in prison for drug trafficking offenses. Brothers Natali and Rocco Luppino were believed to be the leaders of the Hamilton-based crime family. Giacomo Luppino was born in the 1900s in the village of Oppido-Mamertina, Calabria, Italy. Already involved in organized crime in Calabria, Luppino, his wife Domenica, and their 10 children immigrated to Hamilton in 1955 from Castellacci, a subdivision of Oppido-Mamertina. By the time Luppino arrived in Canada, the three dons had already been established, consisting of Santo Scabetta, Anthony Silvestro, and Calogero Bordonado, who answered to Stefano Magadino of the Buffalo crime family. Before Scabetta moved to Hamilton, he was already a made member of the Magadino family. By the early 1960s, Magadino promoted Santo Scabetta to leader of the Buffalo family's Ontario branch, replacing Johnny Papilia, who was under indictment in the United States. Throughout the 1950s and 60s, Luppino and Scabetta jointly controlled Hamilton. In the early 1960s, Luppino was the capodecina of the Hamilton faction of the Magadino's Buffalo crime family, giving Luppino control over all of his branches in Ontario. As boss of all bosses in the region, he was a founding member of the Camera di Controllo in Canada in 1962. Side note, the Camera di Controllo is a collegial body of the Ndrangheta, a mafia-type organization based in Calabria. We know this. It is also known as La Provincia or Camera di Compensazione. It is composed of leading Ndrangheta members to decide on important questions concerning the organization and settling disputes. Luppino had been seen meeting with powerful mob figures, including Ndrangheta member Rocco Zito and Siderno Group bootlegger Paolo Violi, but left for Montreal in 1963 on Giacomo's orders to avoid clashes with Papilia. In Montreal, Violi developed connections with the Controni crime family while maintaining ties with the Luppino family. He married Giacomo's daughter, Grazia, in 1965. Giacomo had 5 sons who were involved in organized crime: Vincenzo, Natale, Rocco, Tony, and John Luppino. In 1967, police began a 5-year surveillance operation of Giacomo Luppino, which included wiretapping his Hamilton home. In the early 1970s, Natale Luppino worked with Toronto mobster Paul Volpe on extortion schemes where they would be paid kickbacks from both the union and the developers for negotiating construction contracts. Giacomo Luppino later sponsored Paul Volpe into the Buffalo crime family. In the mid-1970s, Scabetta died, shifting the leadership entirely to Luppino. In 1978, Rocco Luppino, Dominic Musitano, owner of a Hamilton haulage company, and Angelo Natale, president of the Ontario Haulers Association, were charged with conspiracy to commit extortion after police uncovered a protection racket on Ontario's independent trucking industry. After a 5-year legal battle, they were acquitted in 1983. In 1981, Tony and John Luppino and Jerry Fumo were convicted of fraud, receiving 15-month, 12-month, and 18-month sentences, respectively. Giacomo Luppino died of natural causes at the age of 87 in March of 1987, where Jimmy Luppino took over the family. Statements made during the 2018 trial of mobster Domenico-Violi indicated that several decades earlier, Giacomo Luppino had been responsible for working out arrangements for the alliance between the Hamilton mob and the Mafia of Buffalo. In a report on the murder of Cece Luppino in early 2019, CBS News made this statement. Quote, court documents filed by the RCMP during the Violi trial show the Luppino family is connected to a web of organized crime stretching from Hamilton to Buffalo, New York. The news item added that the Luppino-Violi family is a faction of the Todaro crime family that is based in Buffalo, and that Rocco and Natalia Luppino were members of the latter. In a 1999 interview with Musitano family hitman Kenneth Murdoch, he revealed that he was ordered to kill Jimmy Luppino, but did not go through with the order. Murdoch also claimed that he was waiting for Pat Musitano to approve the murders of Natalia Luppino and Vincenzo Luppino, as well as Dominic Violi and Giuseppe Violi. A 2002 Hamilton police report suggested the Violi brothers, Dominic Dom and Giuseppe Joe Violi, grandsons to Giacomo Luppino, who moved back to Hamilton with their mother after their father Paolo Violi was killed in Montreal in 1978 by the Sicilian Rizzuto crime family, became affiliated with the Luppino family. Domenico was made a member in the Buffalo family in January of 2015. In November of 2017, the brothers were charged with 75 offenses, such as conspiracy to import a controlled substance, possession of the purpose of trafficking a controlled substance, trafficking contraband tobacco, trafficking firearms, and participated in a criminal organization. 9 people in total were arrested and charged, including Massimiliano Garfagna of Burlington, Ontario, and Adriano Scoglieri of Vaughan, Ontario, while warrants went out for additional suspects. During the multi-city bust, police seized large quantities of fentanyl and carfentanil, heroin, cocaine, and over 250,000 tablets of controlled substances, some 3 million cigarettes, and several gaming machines. During the same week in November, the FBI arrested several people in New York on related offenses. The charges include narcotics trafficking, loan sharking, and firearms. In March 2018, Carfagna was sentenced to 10.5 years in prison for drug trafficking and weapon offenses, and also stated between March and October 2016, he and Joe Violi agreed to import 200 to 300 kilograms of cocaine into Canada. A disgracia. Who are you stating that to, buddy? On June 1st, 2018, Joe Violi was sentenced to 16 years in prison after pleading guilty on drug trafficking charges. On December 3rd of 2018, Domenico-Violi was sentenced to 8 years in prison after pleading guilty to trafficking drugs to a paid undercover police agent for more than $416,000 as part of a 3-year RCMP-led police project, Otremens, during which the agent was officially inducted as a made member of the Bonanno crime family in Canada, according to an agreed statement of facts. Criminologist Anna Sergi of the University of Essex stated that a new alliance between the Bonanno associates and the Violi family is significant, as it suggests a growing prominence for Calabrian mafia, the Ndrangheta, and within the New York families and in Canada. Domenico-Violi admitted to trafficking approximately 260,000 pills, including PCP, ecstasy, and meth, to undercover agents. Wiretaps recorded from 2015 to 2016 also indicated Domenico-Violi was made the underboss of the Buffalo crime family by boss Joseph Todaro Jr. in October of 2017 in a meeting in Florida, the first Canadian to hold the second highest position in the American mafia. After being promoted to underboss, Violi is heard on wiretaps boasting that he had beaten out 30 other people for the position, indicating the Buffalo family had at least 30 made men, which included Canadian members such as the Violi brothers' uncles Natalie and Rocco Luppino. The wiretaps also revealed the activity of the commission, the governing body of the American Mafia, as Violi's promotion was so unusual that Joe Todaro Jr. consulted with the commission for permission to promote Violi as the Buffalo family's new underboss. According to wiretaps from the Violi brothers' case, Giuseppe Violi told the undercover agent back in February of 2015 that Cece had been approached about becoming a made member, but Cece had told his father that he believed there was not enough money to be made and that there were too many headaches. Court documents filed by the RCMP in spring of 2019 confirmed a connection between the Luppino family and the mob in Buffalo. On January 30th, 2019, C.C. Luppino, son of Rocco Luppino, was shot and killed at a home that was owned by his father at 56 Mountain Brow Boulevard in Hamilton. Hamilton Police Service called it a targeted hit and suggested that the murder might be related to organized crime. C.C. Luppino had no criminal record. However, Detective Sergeant Peter Tom provided only this information to the news media. I've been told he works for a family business down in Stony Creek, apparently related to a cafe and real estate. A subsequent report in January of 2020 by the Hamilton Spectator stated that the business was a realty training center with an attached cafe. Added that the C.C. Luppino murder might have been committed to send a message to more powerful family members. The report also referenced a 2015 conversation that has been accessed by police. CC was heard to say that he did not want to be a made man in the organized crime aspect of the family, but might become involved if he could be sure of a financial benefit. If the money's right, maybe, you know what I'm saying? That's what he's saying. The C.C. Luppino hit may have been related to a home invasion on April 19 of 2018 in Hamilton, where three men forced their way into a house at 19 Como Place, owned by Natalie Luppino, and stabbed one individual. A police source told CBC News that both of the people in the home at the time were related to C.C. Luppinos and are members of the Luppino crime family. In late April of 2019, police arrested and charged two of the four suspects in Montreal with attempted murder, while the other two, also from Montreal, were already in custody. None were considered to be mafia members. At that time of the arrest, there was some speculation as whether the target of the 2018 incident had actually been Natalie Luppino because he was the owner of the house. A 2019 CBC News report later quoted a mafia expert as stating that Rizzuto's death paved the way for upheaval in the underworld. Also, in spring of 2019, one report stated that the Luppinos in the Musitano crime family seemed to be involved in the city's mafia war. Sources contacted by CBC News led the site to state that some sort of underworld power struggle is tearing through the region as old scores are settled and players jockey for power in a time of unrest. The wiretaps of Domenico and Giuseppe Giovioli recorded a discussion that the Musitanos were supporting the Contrera Caruana mafia clan, which is a mafia clan of the Cosa Nostra, and held a key position in the illicit drug trade and money laundering for Cosa Nostra in the 1980s and 1990s. The Italian press baptized the clan as the Rothschilds of the mafia, or the bankers of Cosa Nostra. The records also refer to a September 27 recording made by police indicating that Pat Musitano was already a marked man. The police stated that he would, in February of 2020, two of the accused pled guilty to the 2018 invasion of Natalie Luppino's home. The court heard that they had indeed planned to target Natalie Luppino, in addition to his nephew, Giuseppe Capobianco. Charles Boucher Savard admitted to having stabbed Capobianco, had received a 4-year sentence. Natalia had also been in the home at the time but was not attacked. Jonathan Monette pled guilty to conspiracy to commit robbery and was sentenced to 1 year. 4 other persons from Montreal faced charges of attempted murder for their roles in the conspiracy. Mob Spotlight. Gentlemen, you know the rules. Like, comment, share. Let me know what you're smoking on. And if this is the first time you're hearing one of my videos, just make sure you subscribe and then go back and check out all the videos we did. There's hundreds. Salute.